Good evening. I'm John Huddleston. Thanks for joining us tonight. The past 3 days have been a roller coaster at the Bama Theater. One movie in their summer film series, Turn Me On, was pulled from the lineup. This was after a request by Mayor Maddox and local pastors. The complaint centered around sexually suggestive scenes involving minors, as well as who would fund the viewing. But now, after much debate, the film is back on. WVUA's Tommy Townsend has more in tonight's top story.
This movie, Turn Me On, is a Norwegian film that has sparked a debate about censorship after it was initially pulled from showing at the Bama Theater.
There were some pastors who expressed some concerns about it. There was a lot of conversation about that, and the movie was canceled from the series.
But after much debate, the screening of the film is back on. The reason the movie was pulled in the first place was because of the potential outcry from using public money to fund the viewing. That's where private business stepped in.
The public money isn't going towards it. It's from the Left Hand Soap Company, a local handmade organic soap company here in town, and us with Well That's Cool.
Many who want the movie to run, especially sponsors, say the debate was part of a bigger issue.
They had a problem with the perceived censorship of the movie.
Say what you want to do what you want to do, protest what you want to do, but you can't censor the movie.
Through Facebook and other social media, people on both sides were able to voice their opinion and reach this compromise.
Everyone has chimed in, everyone is speaking their mind, everyone is passionate, and I think that's the beginning of a good conversation, an ongoing conversation.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Tommy Townsend, WVUA News.
The movie is scheduled to run on July 17th at the Bama Theater. We contacted the mayor's office. We were told to direct our questions to the Tuscaloosa Arts Council. In other news tonight, over a year after the tornado was destroyed Alberta Elementary, there are plans to build back, and there is the possibility of some exciting new additions. In a meeting with the Tuscaloosa City School Board, both Maud L. Watley Health Center and the Tuscaloosa Public Library proposed their own contributions to the facility. The library wants to open a computer lab for middle and high school students, while Watley Health Services wants to open a school-based health center on the property. The health clinic would be open to the community, but would target Alberta Elementary staff, students, and their families. Watley Health Services CEO Deborah Tucker says Alberta is very deserving of this possible step forward.
Because so many services have been disrupted in the Alberta area, to be able to bring in a healthcare provider such as a nurse practitioner or a physician, as well as the nurse and the mental health counselor, this will create improved access to care right there within the community.
Currently, there are 2 schools in Alabama with health clinics, one in Mobile and Gadsden. Tucker says she hopes Alberta Elementary can be the third. Well, the Tuscaloosa City Schools has approved their 2012-2013 school calendar. The new schedule adds 7 days of classes by lengthening each school day by 8 minutes, which would equal a total of 4 days by the end of the year. Now, they are also changing 3 student vacation days to instructional days. Those are October 12th, December 20th, and February 18th. The Flexible Calendar Act of 2012, passed in May, delays the start of school until August 20th, which calls the school system to lose 7 days. But the new calendar makes up for the lost time. Well, on your home team Crime Watch tonight, WVUA is covering Dallas County. Our authorities are offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to an arrest of an Alabama man charged with killing 2 9-year-old twins and their 73-year-old babysitter. They're looking for this man, 22-year-old DeAndre Marquise Lee. The Alabama Bureau of Investigation says he is wanted in connection with the death of 2 Lowndes County children and their family friend. Selma police say they have received tips from several people who say they have seen Lee around the city. Now, we've been telling you about this very sad story all week long. 9-year-old twins Jordan and Taylor DeJarnett and 73-year-old Jack Matt Gardner were found dead Tuesday. Their bodies were found near Haneyville, about 30 miles south of Selma. Gardner's car was also discovered with the doors missing. Police say the victims were shot. Now, here's another look at DeAndre Marquise Lee. He is considered to be armed and dangerous. If you have any information about his whereabouts, call this number at the ABI Crime Tip Line. That number, 1-800-392-8011. Well, changing gears, the weekend is upon us, and we certainly hope we are going to have some good weather out there. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott says, not so fast.
Yeah, John, good Friday evening too. A lot of rain to talk about over the next several days. In the meantime, we're okay this evening to have those plans out and about. 76, one of the warm spots in Tuscaloosa, 77 Birmingham, and the warmest spot, both Meridian 79, also Memphis, Tennessee at 81, so some 80s still out there tonight. and it is mild, but it's also dry. No rain to deal with across our area, and some high-level cirrus clouds streaming in from shower storms happening down to our south today, and that's slowly going to increase through tonight and during the day on Saturday. Here's that forecast through the day. I think we start off dry, 9 o'clock in the morning, 75, maybe a passing storm for our southern counties, but other than that, we stay dry through lunch. After lunch, though, all bets are off. Shower storms become likely. 85 tomorrow afternoon by 4 o'clock. Some locally heavy rain is possible by that point. But what about the rest of the weekend, and how about the beach forecast? Weather is coming up.
The U.S. Department of the Interior has affirmed the federal status of Alabama Indian land, where highly successful casinos are located after Escambia County officials raised questions about the property. Through a letter, the Department of Interior confirmed that the Porch Band Creek Indians' land remains under federal jurisdiction. In April, Escambia County Commission Chairman David Stokes asked whether the land should still fall under federal rules after the U.S. Supreme Court rejected the department's approval of new land for a Rhode Island tribe in a 2009 case. Meanwhile, President Obama and his staff went into damage control mode today after the president's choice of words concerning the economy ignited a political firestorm. On one, his Republican rivals were glad to keep burning. Jessica Yellen has the report.
The president trying to regain control of his message.
If Congress decides, despite all that they aren't going to do anything about this simply because it's an election year, then they should explain to the American people why.
After disappointing jobs numbers drove unemployment up to 8.2%, he called on Congress to pass the jobs bill he introduced back in September. But in defending his record, he hit an off-key note.
The private sector is doing fine.
Republicans were quick to pounce.
And Mr. President, take it from me, the private sector is not doing well.
My question would be to the president, are you kidding? Did he see the job numbers?
Here's the president in context.
We've created 4.3 million jobs over the last 27 months, over 800,000 just this year alone. The private sector is doing fine. Where we're seeing weaknesses in our economy have to do with state and local government.
But last month, private sector jobs grew at a slower pace than previous months, adding 82,000 jobs compared to 87,000 in April, 147,000 in March. Later in the day, the president tried to clean up his remarks.
It is absolutely clear that the economy is not doing fine. That's the reason I had the press conference. That's why I spent yesterday, the day before yesterday, this past week, this past month, and this past year talking about how we can make the economy stronger.
Also at the news conference, the president couldn't escape questions about a spate of news reports that included classified national security information.
Secondly, what's your reaction to lawmakers who accuse your team of leaking these details in order to promote your re-election bid?
The notion that my White House would purposely release classified national security information is offensive. It's wrong, and people I think need to have a better sense of how I approach this office.
Asked if the administration is investigating the leaks.
What I'm saying is that we consistently, whenever there is classified information that is put out into the public, we try to find out where that came from. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
The president said he has zero tolerance for leaking, and those who violate the policy are punished.